So what was it that we found in terms of the results? Well, we found that 10% of the preschool teachers expelled at least one child in the past 12 months because of a behavior problem, which means 10% of all the preschool classrooms had at least one expulsion in the past 12 months. What else did we find? Of the classrooms that were expelling, 78% said only one child in the last 12 months. 15% said 2 children. 6% said I've expelled 3 children in 1 year, last year. 1% said I've expelled 4 children last year. When we piloted this in Massachusetts in child care programs, we had one child care teacher who reported expelling 6 children out of a class of 16 in 1 month's time. That's a lot of expulsion. It's so much expulsion that when you see that much expulsion, you have to think, maybe it's not just about the children's behavior. Maybe there's some other things at play that could actually be accounting for this. So we computed out what the expulsion rate was. We found that there's about 7 expulsions per every 1,000 children enrolled in these state-funded pre-K programs. And then when we compared it to other data that was collected by the Office of Civil Rights at about that time for the U.S. Department of Education regarding K through 12 children, we found that the K through 12 rate was 2.1 per 1,000. So in other words, these children in state-funded preschool programs were being expelled at a rate more than 3 times that of children in K through 12. But it doesn't just end there. We found that when you look at child care programs, not state-funded preschool programs, which are largely in the public schools, but child care programs out in the public arena, many of which are accepting public dollars, that the rates of expulsion are much higher. 28 per 1,000 in Detroit. In our pilot study in Massachusetts in child care programs, we found a rate of 27 per 1,000 children enrolled. 39% of the child care classrooms in Massachusetts reported expelling at least one child in the past 12 months, which means that if your child was in a child care program in Massachusetts, your child has about a 40% chance of either being expelled or being in a classroom with a child who has been expelled. That's a lot of expulsion on a per classroom basis. Look down here at the Illinois data that we have there. 42% of the centers reporting at least one expulsion in the past 12 months. Let me tell you what's unique about that piece of data. Those 42%, the study that they're talking about there, that was all infant toddler child care centers, serving children 0 to 2 years old. So even when you're talking about really young children, the rates at which children can lose their placements and parents scrambling trying to figure out what to do, because if they don't have the child care, they may lose their job too. Because one of the things to remember is this: when we expel children from preschool programs, in many cases it means expelling their parents from work because they don't have child care anymore.